Isang mapagpalang oras po sa lahat. Ito na po ang hinihintay natin, ang official na RPMS-IPCRF 19 indicators. Sa video ito, malalaman po natin ang mga specific na MOVs na kailangan po nating ihanda sa loob ng isang taon. Sa dulo ng video na ito, ay may bibigay po akong bonus para makatulong po sa inyong paggawa ng IPCRF portfolio. Panoorin ang buong video para malaman po ito. RPMS tool for Teacher 1, 2, and 3, the Proficient Teachers in Time of COVID-19, School Year 2021-2022. So ito po ang bagong labas na memorandum, dated Feb 9, 2022, DepEd Memorandum number 4, Series 2022, the implementation of the RPMS-PPST for School Year 2021-2022. Para mas ma-appreciate pa po natin ang kahalagaan ng IPCRF, ito po yun. The performance period prescribed herein shall be used as basis for the determination of length of service for the purposes of computation of the PBB for teachers and other school-based personnel pursuant to application guidelines. Ang atin pong IPCRF 19 indicators, meron pa pong observable at saka non-observable indicators. Under observable, ito po yung nakikita po natin sa ating COT. Ang objective 1, 3, 4, 5 at saka 6. Habang yung mga hindi po natin nakikita o hindi po pwedeng ma-observe ay 2, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 at 19. Paano naman po itong nakadilaw po na ito? Ito pong 7, 8, 9 at saka 10. Ito po ay pwede pong observable at saka non-observable. Kasi sa ating objective 7, 8 at saka 9, maaaring choice po ng teacher na magkakaroon po siya ng pagpipilian na set A o set B. Kung sa observable siya, pwede po. At saka sa non-observable po, pwede naman po. Malalaman po yan natin mamaya sa ating pagpapatuloy. Means of verification for objectives 1, 3, 4, 5 at saka 6 at pwede rin po sa 7, 8, 9 at 10 para hindi po tayo magiging paulit-ulit po mamaya sa mga nabanggit na indicators. Ito po ang mga kailangan nating MOBs. Classroom Observation Tool or COT or the Inter-Observation Agreement Form na nanggagaling sa number 1. An observation of asynchronous teaching. Maaaring po siyang limited face-to-face, online teaching, or two-way radio instruction. Kapag hindi naman po pwede ang number 1, an observation of a recorded video lesson or audio lesson that is SLM-based or MELC-aligned. Pero kapag hindi naman po pwede ang option 1 at saka option 2, pwede naman pong gagamitin ay ang demonstration teaching na ginamit sa LAC. Objective number 1. Applied knowledge of content within and across curriculum teaching areas. So, ano po ang kailangan natin para makakuha po ng 5 points? So, demonstrated 7 points in our COT objective number 1. So, ang kailangan po natin MOV ay COT or Inter-Observation Agreement Form. Paano po yan i-compute? Ito po siya. Sa COT, kailangan po nating dalawa sa buong school year. So, i-convert po muna natin si COT rating. Ita-transform po natin siya or i-convert po natin siya sa RPMS 5-point scale rating. Kung 7 point ka sa COT, ang katumbas po niyan sa RPMS 5-point scale ay 5. Kung 6 naman, ay 4. Kung 5 naman, ang katumbas ay 3. So, you have to convert the COT rating to RPMS 5-point scale rating. Then, get the average and tignan kung ano ang equivalent po niyan. Very satisfactory. Objective number 2. Use research-based knowledge and principles of teaching and learning to enhance professional practice. So, the means of verification is you only need one lesson plan with annotations identifying research-based knowledge and or principles of teaching and learning used as basis for planning, designing the lesson. So, to get 5 points, Use research-based knowledge and or principles of teaching and learning in all, the word there is in all the components of instruction in the lesson plan to improve student learning. Ano bang ibig sabihin nitong components of instruction? Ito po yun. Components of instruction meaning learning objectives, the instructional activities, and the assessment. Kaya if you are going to compare 5 sa 4, ang ginamit po dito sa 4 ay teaching and learning in 2 components, while 5 points in all the components. So, to get 5, you have to use research-based knowledge and principles of teaching and learning to enhance professional practice in all the components. Objective number 3. Displayed proficient use of mother tongue, Filipino, and English to facilitate teaching and learning. Paano po tayo makakuha ng 5 points? You have to demonstrate level 7 in objective number 3. So, 7 points in your COT objective number 3. So, yan lang po ang kailangan doon. Maka 7 points ka lang po sa COT objective number 3. So, the same process po. You have to convert first your COT rating to RPMS 5-point scale rating and then get the average, and then it will be your RPMS rating for quality. Objective number 4. Use effective verbal and nonverbal classroom communication strategies to support learner understanding, participation, engagement, and achievement. So, your MOV will be your COT, and how to get 5 points. You must demonstrate level 7, or you must have 7 points in your COT under objective number 4. How to get your score? Convert your COT, 2 COTs into RPMS 5-point scale rating, and then get the average, and that will be your RPMS rating for quality under objective number 4. Objective number 5. Establish safe and secure learning environments to enhance learning through the consistent implementation of policies, guidelines, and procedures. So your MOV will be your COT, and then how to get 5 points? You must demonstrate level 7 or 7 points in your COT objective number 5. Again, you must have 7 points COT objective number 5. So how to get your score in your IPCRF? Convert your COT rating to 5 RPMS 5-point scale rating, then get the average, and that will be your RPMS rating for quality under objective number 5. Objective number 6. Maintain learning environments that promote fairness, respect, and care to encourage learning. Your MOV will be your COT, and how to get 5 points? You must have, or you must get level 7, 7 points in your COT objective number 6. Convert your COT rating to RPMS 5-point scale rating, and then get the average, and that will be your RPMS rating for quality under objective number 6. Objective number 7. Maintain learning environment that nurture and inspire learners to participate, cooperate, and collaborate in continued learning. So, ito po yung sinasabi natin na may set A at saka may set B. Under set A, any supplementary material made by the ratee and used in the lesson delivery that highlights maintaining learning environments that nurture and inspire learners to participate, cooperate, and collaborate in continued learning. Ito po yung mga kailangang i-prepare. Activity sheets, 1 lesson from a self-learning module, lesson plan, video lesson, audio lesson, at saka other learning materials na kailangang may annotation with client's learner feedback on how the material encouraged the learner to participate, cooperate, and collaborate. So, how to get 5? Ito po yun. 5 points. Provide effective and varying learning opportunities that are well aligned with the learning goals and feature all elements of collaborative learning as shown in the submitted learning material. Under set B, classroom observation tool or our COT. So you must have 7 points COT objective number 7. So meron ka dapat 7 points COT objective number 7 to get 5 points in your objective number 7. So, paano po bibigyan ng score ang set A? Ito po yung sample. Ang set A po ay diretso na po dyan na RPMS 5-point scale rating, get the average, and then that will be the result. For set B, the same process. Kapag COT, convert COT rating to RPMS 5-point scale rating, get the average, and the result will be your RPMS rating for quality. Objective number 8. Applied a range of successful strategies that maintain learning environments that motivate learners to work productively by assuming responsibility for their own learning. So, two sets again. Set A. Any supplementary materials in print digital format made by the ratee and used in the lesson delivery that highlights a range of strategies that maintain learning environments that motivate learners to work productively by assuming responsibility for their own learning. Ito po yung mga kailangan. Activity sheets, lesson plan from self-learning module, lesson plan, video lesson, audio lesson, other learning materials na may annotation. So how to get 5 points under set A? You have to apply effective teaching strategies that are well aligned with the learning goals and successfully motivates learners to monitor and evaluate their own learning as shown in the submitted learning material. Under set B, classroom observation tool or COT, you must get 7 points in your COT objective number 8. You must get 7 points in your COT objective number 8. Paano po ulit i-compute? Under set A, ito po, RPMS 5-point scale rating, then get the average, then it will be the RPMS rating for quality. For set B, convert COT rating to RPMS 5-point scale and then get the average, and it will be the RPMS rating for quality. Objective 9. Designed, adapted, and implemented teaching strategies that are responsive to learners with disabilities, giftedness, and talents. So, dalawang set ulit. Set A, you need to have your COT, and to get 5 points, you must have 7 points COT objective number 9. 7 points in your COT objective number 9. In your set B, teacher reflection form. Teacher reflection form, ito po ang tinatawag na TRF. Bago po ito. In the past IPCRF or last school year IPCRF, wala po tayong TRF. So, ano po itong TRF na ito? On designing, adapting, and or implementing teaching strategies that are responsive to learners with disabilities, giftedness, and talents, and a certification from school head that the ratees classes have no identified learners with disabilities, giftedness, and or talents. So, demonstrated level 5 as shown in the TRF. Ipapakita po natin mamaya kung ano ang mga nilalaman ng mga TRF na ito. For the information of everyone, meron po tayo ditong definition ng mga terms sa baba. Please read para makita po natin. Ito po ay tinatawag nating Teacher Reflection Form, TRF, for Teacher 1, 2, 3. So, ang direction po dito ay andito po. So, hindi po lalampas ng 500 words ang isusulat. For Objective 9, ganito po siya. Example, Clara is often seen restless or unfocused in class. She also has troubles following instruction and skips activities when left unsupervised. So, anong ginawa ng teacher? Action taken. You had a conference with her parents and found out from them that Clara was diagnosed with a learning disability. How will you modify the instruction for Clara to keep her focus on classroom activities? Write your reflections in this form. So, ito po ang makikita nating form. Medyo mahaba-haba po itong form na ito. Dito po natin isusulat ang ating reflection. Paano naman po tayo makakaroon ng score sa ating TRF? Ito po ang tinatawag nating scoring rubric for grading the TRF. So, focus po tayo sa 5, outstanding, reflections, annotations, and or outputs, example, lesson plan, exceed the expectation of the TRF prompt. They are complete and show comprehensive and in-depth knowledge about the topic, question by providing accurate details and some critical inputs or creativity. So, that's 5 points. Paano po tayo magkakaroon ng score? Under set A, convert COT rating to RPMS 5-point scale rating, get the average, and that will be your RPMS rating for quality. For set B, direkta na po yan. Kukunin lang po ang RPMS 5-point scale rating, i-add lang po yan, and then get the average, and it will be your RPMS rating for quality. Objective number 10. Adapted and use culturally appropriate teaching strategies to address the needs of learners from indigenous groups. So, meron po tayong meaning ng indigenous groups po dito sa baba. Para mabigyan po tayo ng sample, ang mga indigenous groups po ay pwede hong matagpuan sa Cordillera Administrative Region. Meron din po tayong makikita dito sa part ng Tarlac, Zambales, and some part of Pampanga. Ang mga Aitas po ang naandoon, pero ang mga Igorots naman ay makikita sa Cordillera Administrative Region. Sa Mindanao naman, meron naman po tayong mga Badjaus na nakikita po. They are called the indigenous people. We have to respect them. So, dalawa po ang means of verification ng ating objective number 10. Set A. Kailangan po dyan ay COT. You must have 7 points COT objective number 10. So, dapat meron kang makuhang 7 points sa inyong COT objective number 10. Under set B, TRF naman po ang kailangan. Kailangan din po yan na ma-certify po ng school head. So, how to get 5 points? Demonstrate level 5 as shown in the TRF. Ito po ang ating teacher reflection form, TRF for teacher 123, objective number 10. Tulad po kanina, hindi po dapat lalampas sa 500 words ang gagamitin natin sa ating reflection. So, meron po tayong example dito. Below is an assessment activity for a class of 30 learners, 5 of which belong to an indigenous peoples group. Evaluate the appropriateness of the activity to your learners. Write your response in this form. So, meron po tayong set A at set B. For your assessment, research on the following roles in your community by asking your parents or anyone with knowledge on these roles. Choose from set A and set B. Explain why these are important roles. Sa set A, meron tayong mayor. Sa set B, dato or chieftain. So, and so on and so forth. Gagawin po dito ang reflections. Okay, paano po magkaroon ng score sa set A? Sa objective number 10, convert COT rating to RPMS 5-point scale, get the average, and RPMS rating for quality. For set B naman, diretso na po yan na RPMS 5-point scale rating. Just get the average and it will be your RPMS rating for quality. Bago po tayo magpatuloy, please like and follow our FB page, Dion Mayos Channel. Dion Mayos Channel, huwag pong kakalimutang mag-like and follow. Kung hindi ka pa nagsusubscribe sa ating channel, baka ikaw na po ang 476 nating subscriber. Please subscribe, then click the notification bell para updated ka sa lahat ng videos na may kinalaman sa teaching, learning, at pagkakaperahan. Maraming salamat po. Objective number 11. Adapted and implemented learning programs that ensure relevance and responsiveness to the needs of all learners. How to get 5 points. Evaluated the adapted or contextualized learning program as evidenced by MOV number 1. What is MOV number 1? Proof of evaluation on the implementation of the adapted or contextualized learning programs. What are these learning programs? Andito po sa baba. Organize and sequence set of strategies, activities, and tasks that affect learning. That may include but not limited to literacy programs, numeracy programs, strategic intervention materials, enrichment programs, remediation programs, intervention modules, ALS modular programs, SPED programs, and among others. A group of teachers or an entire school may collaborate on a learning program. The implementer or the implementers themselves may also evaluate the effectiveness of their adapted implemented learning program. Objective number 12. Utilize assessment data to inform the modification of teaching and learning practices and programs. How to get 5 points. Implemented a teaching and learning strategy or program using materials based on learners' assessment data as evidenced by a list of identified least or most mastered skills with supporting MOV number 1. What is MOV number 1? O, ito po. Accomplishment report for remedial or enrichment activities. Halimbawa, mga remedial sessions, summer reading camp, field area-based reading program. Objective number 13. Maintain learning environments that are responsive to community context. How to get 5 points. Collaborated with the community stakeholder in the implementation or completion of a program, a project, and or activity that maintains a learning environment responsive to community context as evidenced by MOV1. Ano itong MOV1? Ito po. Accomplishment report of a program or a project or an activity that maintains a learning environment. Objective number 14. Reviewed regularly personal teaching practice using existing laws and regulations that apply to the teaching profession and the responsibilities specified in the Code of Ethics for Professional Teachers. Paano po tayo makakuha ng 5 points dyan? Ayan, ito po. Exhibited an improved practice through one's teaching as impact of regularly reviewing one's teaching practices using laws and regulations that apply to the profession and the responsibilities in the Code of Ethics for Professional Teachers as evidenced by MOV number 1. Ito po ang MOV number 1. Annotated video or audio recording of one's teaching that shows impact of regularly reviewing one's teaching practice or practices. Objective number 15. Complied with the implemented school policies and procedures consistently to foster harmonious relationships with learners, parents, and other stakeholders. Paano makakuha ng 5 points? Sustained engagement with the learners, parents, or guardians, and other stakeholders regarding school policies and procedures through school community partnership as evidenced by MOV number 1. What is MOV number 1? Ito po, proof of participation or involvement in a school community partnership for implementation of a school policy or a procedure. Example, certificate as committee member, the narrative report, or the attendance sheet. Objective number 16. Applied a personal philosophy of teaching that is learner-centered. Ano po itong MOV po nito? One lesson plan with annotations explaining the application of learner-centered teaching philosophy. Example, deconstructivism, existentialism, and others, used as basis for planning or designing the lesson. So, paano po makakuha ng 5 points? Applied learner-centered teaching philosophy in the lesson plan in all the components of instruction in the lesson plan to improve student learning. Ano nga ba itong mga components of instruction? Learning objectives, instructional activities, and assessment. Dapat po lahat daw po yan. Objective number 17. Adopted practices that uphold the dignity of teaching as a profession by exhibiting qualities such as caring attitude, respect, and integrity. Paano po makakuha ng 5 points? You have to exhibit dignity of teaching as profession by exhibiting qualities such as caring attitude, respect, and integrity with affirmation from different school stakeholders. Ito po yung keyword po doon. From different school stakeholders as evidenced by at least 2 MOV number 1. Dalawa pong MOV number 1. Documented feedback from superiors, colleagues, learners, parents, or guardians, or other stakeholders directly reflecting the latest good practices that uphold the dignity of teaching as a profession. Objective number 18. Set professional development goals based on the Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers or PPST. To get 5 points, we must update professional development goals during Phase 2 of the RPMS cycle as evidenced by MOV number 1. Ito po. Ang MOV po natin dito ay updated IPCRF DP from Phase 2. At bago po ang last objective, meron po tayong bonus po mamaya. Sasabihin po ni Sir kung paano ito at ano ang gagawin. So, objective number 19. Perform various related works or activities that contribute to the teaching-learning process. Ang MOV po niyan ay dapat makapag-perform tayo ng at least one related work or activity that contributed to the teaching-learning process beyond the school or community learning center as evidenced by submitted MOV. Pag sinabi po nating beyond, maaaring labas ng school, pwede siyang municipal-wide, cluster-wide, division-wide. Or kung may mas mataas pa. Ano po ang MOV po natin? Proof. Ano po ang proof? Maaaring in a form of certificate, maaaring pong in a form of memo. Any proof of committee involvement, advisorship of co-curricular activities, book or journal authorship or contributorship, coordinatorship or chairpersonship, coaching and mentoring learners in competitions, serving as reliever of classes in the absence of teachers, mentoring pre-service teachers, participation in demonstration teaching, participation as technical working group members or others. We have to put annotation. So, yan po yung mga 19 indicators. At meron pa po tayong susunod. Huwag kalimutang panoorin ang video on Classroom Observation Tool for Proficient Teachers, Teacher 1, 2, and 3 in the time of the COVID-19 pandemic. Yan po ang susunod po nating video. At ito na po ang ating bonus. Magbibigay po si Sir ng 19 IPCRF indicator cover pages for free. Wala pong babayaran. As in, wala pong babayaran. Kung halimbawa po interesado po kayo, mag-comment lang po. Sabihin po ang comment sa baba if interested. Maraming salamat po.